In this video, we're going to be covering Meta Ads custom audiences, and I'm going to break down each custom audience you can create to help retarget your ideal clients on Meta Ads, ideally to push you to have a lower cost per conversion. A lot of business owners that I speak to are still unaware of all the features that you can utilize and leverage on Meta. Let's jump right in. All right, so we're going to jump right into Meta Ads Manager. To get to audiences on the left side of the screen, you're going to go to audiences. Now, today's specific video is just going to be on custom audiences. So there's a few audiences that you can do. You could do custom audiences, you could do lookalike audiences, and you could do save audiences. I'll do videos on lookalike audiences and save audiences. Today, we're just going to be going over custom audiences. And when you go over here, you're going to go to the left, you're going to go to create audience, and you're going to click custom audience. This is the section where I think 95% of people or businesses who are running ads, they drop the ball, is because they don't realize how we can utilize Meta's data points to be able to leverage for our ads. So today I'm going to go through each source of how to create a custom audience and see if it fits your business or not. So as you see right here, custom audiences is connecting with people who already shown interest in your business or product. So custom audiences are the way to go when it comes to running retargeting campaigns because they've interacted with one of our. All right, so we're gonna jump. All right, so we're gonna jump straight into this. So when you go to Meta Ads Manager, you're gonna go to the left right here where it says audiences. Once you click audiences, this will show up, and we're gonna go to create audience. Now, there's three type of audiences when it comes to Meta Ads. There's custom audiences, there's lookalike audiences, and then there's save audiences. I'm gonna do another video on lookalike audiences and save audiences, so you'll have that separately. Today, we're just gonna talk about custom audiences, which is connecting with people who have already shown an interest in your business or product, and now you can create audiences based off of engagement. So if you are looking to run meta ads, I think this is where 95% of business owners who are running meta ads drop the ball, is they don't do retargeting campaigns enough. And I think a lot of it just comes from not being aware of what we can do in the back end of Meta. So let's go through each section. So this is one of my favorite sources. It's called Website. So what you're able to do is you're able to create an audience based off website visitors from your Meta Pixel. This is why it's so important to make sure you get your Meta Pixel added to all your websites and landing pages. And that's on another video as well too. So make sure you go check that out. This allows you to now retarget based off that. So let's go even deeper. So let's say we click website and you go next. We're actually able Let's go ahead and use my Pixel. We're actually able to target all of your website visitors in the last 30 days, right? And then you could go up to 180 days. For retargeting purposes, it depends your sales cycle. I typically recommend, 30 to even sometimes 7 to 15 days, right? So it's like we want to retarget people who see your website and they leave and they see our ad on Meta. That's one of the biggest powers of retargeting campaigns, right? The biggest companies do it to us. Amazon, you go look up a purse or shoes. They always get me with the shoes. When I look up my shoes, I leave the page and I go on Instagram or Facebook, and all of a sudden I start seeing the ad. So we want to do the same thing for your business, right? When someone visits your site and they log off and they go onto Facebook, Instagram, we want them to see your brand, and that's called omnipresence, right? So the cool thing here is you could target people based off anyone who visited your website. You can also target people who visit specific web pages. So this includes people who have visited specific web pages. So you actually click here and do a specific URL. I recommend this if you are going to do specific landing pages on your site, or if you want to measure, like let's say if you have a book now page on your website, I would recommend retargeting people there. Or if you have a specific landing page, I definitely recommend doing that as well too. So you're able to do specific web pages. You can also do target people based off how much time they spent on your website. So if you have a website and people spend 25% on your website, I will take the top 25% of people spent on your website and target them. This is good if you have longer sales copy and longer landing pages, because the top people who spent the most amount of time most likely have read a lot of your business. So you're just the intention of retargeting campaigns is find buyers who are the most interested. So this is the first feature. I highly recommend you always create a retargeting. I think that the best thing to do is if you have a decent amount of traffic to your website, have a $5 a day campaign retargeting people who are just visiting your website. So, and then you can include people, you can do ors, right? So if you want to do by time spent or they hit this page, you can do that as well too. So the cool thing is you can further kind of break it down, which is great. And then you will be able to go ahead and let's just keep it simple for this video sake. Let's just say I want to target everyone who visited my website in the last 30 days. I could go ahead and label this website 30 days, and then boom. Now we have the website, people who visited our website in the last 30 days, create audience, and is going to aggregate that data. So that's the website resources source. The next one, which is super powerful, and a lot of people don't even know this is a feature. This is a customer list. So you can actually create an audience by uploading a list of your customers who've interacted with your business. So if you already have a huge lead list that you already have access to, what it would do is Meta will take that list and it will take the data from that list and target them on Meta. So there's two reasons you want to use customer list. One reason you want to upload a list of all your clients and for two reasons. So you want to upload all your lists for your clients and make sure the ads you're running are not targeting your clients because if they're already your clients, what's the point of putting ad spends towards people who already are buying from you? And you can reach out to them through other means, right? If they're a client, I highly recommend contacting your current clients through email marketing. However, you could do that, and then you can upload your list and actually target them. So let's say you have a huge lead list and you do want to target them on social media, you could do that. Whether if you have a new offer, a new discount, or you want to drive them to, let's say you have an ascension model where they buy a product from you or service from you, and then you want to upsell them, you could definitely run ads towards them too, so you can target them. And then the other thing you could do too is once you upload your list, you can also do a lookalike audience. So you'll take all the data of your current customers, and Meta will try to find people who are similar to that type of audience. So, and it goes through a whole process. It's really cool. You're able to actually download a file template. So it shows you all the actual data points. You can actually go ahead and look up. You can also add value identifiers. That's new on Meta, where you're able to kind of put a value behind like these type of leads are high value. I want you to target them. These are not high value, but they're still important to target. So I definitely recommend going through this and seeing all the features, and then you can download a file template. So it'll show you how you want to set up your actual format, your actual CSV, and then you'll go to the next slide right here, and then you can actually upload the CSV file or text files. I always recommend CSV file, and you could go ahead and just upload it and add it here, and then boom, you'll match your columns, upload, confirm, and then now you're targeting your clients, and you're also not targeting clients, which is important. For top of the funnel ads, I definitely don't want to recommend. I don't recommend targeting your clients because you're spending ad spend towards them. So that's the second version. Let's keep it going. Next to this one is app activity. So if you do have an app, you can create an audience of people who launched your app or game and took a specific action while in it. Definitely recommend it. Due to me working with a lot of service-based business owners, I don't usually use this category. Offline activity is great. This is creating an audience of people who interacted in your business, actual brick and mortar, or over the phone, or any offline channels. So if you have offline channels that's connected in the back end through API, that is a feature you can do. Again, I don't usually typically use these two. Catalog you can use if you're in e-commerce or selling products. You can create specific audiences based on people who interacted with your catalog. Catalog is just a way to create your products on the back end. All right, so again, these two, I would say top when it comes to your sources. I definitely recommend uploading your customer list first thing, and then also creating the pixel for your website so you can start running towards, you can start running doing retargeting campaign for people who leave your website. That's definitely low hanging fruit. Your goal is to just grab a net, and if they're already going to your website, you want to pull them back in. And then next we have meta sources. So this is great. This is what I would recommend a lot of people to utilize. Uh, for me, I like to utilize the strategy of Venus flytrap, which I got from one of my mentors, Jeremy Haynes. Shout out to Jeremy Haynes. However, he came up with this concept years ago, and it's great. And what you do is you run a ton of video ads on top of the funnel, and then you retarget those video ads for middle of the funnel. So how you would do that is, let's say you run 3 video views. It's a cheaper cost to launch, so you get more exposure on the video view campaign. And this meta allows you to actually go ahead and retarget people who saw specific videos. So when you click videos, you can go to next. It allows you to actually break it down between if people saw at least 3 seconds of video, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, or people who viewed 25%, 50%, 75, 95. Now, of course, depending on how long your video is, you can actually break this down. I typically like to do retargeting if people at least saw 25% of my video, if my video is at least 15 to 30 seconds long. The reason being is for someone to stick on your video in this day and age and they're there for more than 3 to 5 seconds, that's a win. And then, of course, if you want to get more specific and you have a longer form content, if people spend 75% of the time on a 1 minute video, then it's like, all right, now you have their attention and that will be a hotter audience. So obviously, I'm just showing the options. We'll go over strategy on how to best execute this, but these are all the options you have. Definitely recommend retargeting people based off videos that they saw. And how it works is like this. Let me go ahead. Let's say we do 25, 50, 75, 95. And then what you do is you actually go ahead and you can pick the amount of days, right? So you can only go up to 365 days. That's why it's important to have these audiences in place. So as you're doing ads and campaigns, you don't lose lost times. But let's say we're starting fresh and we're doing video views for this month in the last 45 days. I'll go ahead and target anyone in the last 45 days. And then you actually have to go in here and select the actual videos. So let me go ahead and go to mine. And boom, boom, boom. Okay, so let's go ahead and it actually will allow you to pick it. So if I say, you know what, I want I want to target people who saw specific videos, I can go ahead and click them. Let me see if I could bring more of an ad video. Okay, let's go here. Let's say this video, right? Boom. All right, so I want people to, anyone who saw this video, this video, this video, and this video, these look more like, those were looking more like stories. So I want to just use regular videos. My Facebook page is not showing up. No worries. We'll stick with my Instagram. So yeah, you would find the videos you want to run. And then let's say, okay, so this is more of like a video that I want to run. So like these videos were more like promoting business videos. I can click. This video got 2,000 views on this. Perfect. This 2,000 people, I want to retarget. Hey, confirm. Now it's going to retarget anyone who at least saw 25% of these videos, right? And then you do the same thing for each one. You'll select for each one, and you'll go through it. So the cool thing about that is I definitely recommend using the video view retargeting strategy. And then this one I could do, let's say, video retargeting, and then I could put, I could do 25% of my top 3 videos on IG. However you want to, and let's say we just do this, boom. Now target people, everyone who's at least saw 25% of these 3 videos in the last 45 days, boom, and now create the audience. Now I have a pretty good audience that at least saw me once. The thing now with meta ads is that people have to see you at least 11 times, 11 touch points, and they have to spend at least 7 hours with us. So the goal is if we can just supersede and get our ideal audience to see us more often, then now we're winning. So that's video for video views, which is I highly recommend you. You can pull videos from both Instagram or Facebook. And then you can do the same thing with Instagram account. So what you can do is you can actually target people who interacted with the Instagram account. And they give you a few options. Let me go ahead and pull this one. So this is anyone who started following you. You could do if you want to do retargeting campaigns for people who followed you. So right when they follow you, bam, they start getting in your ads. Anyone who's engaged with your account, anyone who's visited your profile, anyone who engaged with a specific post or ad, or people who sent messages to the account, or people who saved any post or ad. For me, I typically like doing the anyone who's engaged with a post or an ad because they engage with your stuff, especially if we're doing retargeting. I like doing that. And then again, you can do it days too, and then you can also include more people, right? Or exclude. You can exclude people uh, who sent me a message, right? Because if you're doing a messaging campaign, we don't want to target people who already sent you a message. We want to target people, new people, and you can kind of keep going down that process. So definitely recommend it. Or if you want to just do a regular campaign of targeting people in the last year, because maybe you have a new offer, you can do anyone who has engaged with my account in the last 365 days. You can name this Instagram 365. Boom. And then create an audience. And then we have lead form. This is really good if you're doing a lot of lead forms. You could target people who actually engage with the specific lead form. So let's say go here. You can actually look your actual lead form and say anyone who's opened this form, anyone who's opened the form but didn't submit, which is really, you can get creative, right? So let's say this is part of higher intent. They opened it but didn't submit. This is people who opened and submitted the form. So let's say if you're doing lead form campaigns, you would want to exclude these people. So let's say I would want anyone who's opened but didn't submit. Then I would want to exclude, let's go here, boom, boom. I would want to exclude this audience, lead form, boom, select card detailing. And you would want to, at this point, you would want to exclude anyone who submitted. So this is telling Meta, create an audience of everyone who's open but did not submit, and don't target this ad or audience towards people who've opened and submitted. So that's a good way to, a lot of people drop the ball on this, right? Because you want to maximize your ad spend, and how we do that is we work smarter, not harder. So you want to create an audience where it's like, all right, everyone's opened it, but they didn't submit. That's a hot lead. I want to put a specific ad towards, hey, notice you were interested, but you didn't complete it. Get this discount, or this is 2 reasons why you want to go ahead and enter your information. And then it won't target people who already submitted, because you don't want people who submitted to see your ad, and when it comes to your retargeting, because they already bought on the first ad. So that is lead forms. Now we have events. If you run a lot of events, in whether in person or online, if you use the event feature on Meta, you could do the same thing. You could target people. You would pick your actual specific event, and then you could do the same thing. You could people who were responded, people who have responded going, people who have responded interested, people who have visited the event page, people who have engaged, people who have entered the ticket purchase flow, people who have purchased tickets, and people who have abandoned the ticket purchase flow. So these are the options you have to retarget people based off of events. Highly recommend using this if you are doing a lot of events. You could drive people and do a lot of good retargeting based off of people who land on your event page. And then from there, we have instant experience. This is instant experience is like Meta's version of doing like a landing page on Meta. So this is the same thing you could do, target people based off of their instant experience. I don't necessarily use instant experience because I like driving people to my pages and funnels. Not saying it's bad, it's just for me, not necessarily one of my strategies. Not saying that it won't change in the future. And then here's the Facebook page. Same thing with the Instagram account. You could target people who have engaged with your Facebook page, who liked your page, anyone who visited your page, engage with the ad or post, anyone who clicked the call to action button. If you have a lot of call to action button analytics and you're showing a lot of people are driving to there, you could do a retargeting out of there. Same with anyone who messaged you or saved the post. And the same concept, 365, and then you can include, exclude people. And then we have shopping. Anyone who's shopped with your business, you can create an audience retargeting for that. If you're e-commerce, definitely work with that on the shopping side. And then here's Facebook listings, right? If anyone who's engaged with your product catalog, you could do that. These two are usually more for e-commerce businesses. So yeah, these are all the options you have on setting up a custom audience. If you haven't set this up yet, highly recommend taking the time to do so. It's pretty simple. As you see, we go through it, and you can just create all your audiences and you'll be able to have them saved. And I definitely recommend utilizing the website, customer list, video, Instagram account, and Facebook page, bare minimum. And then, of course, if anyone pertains to you, like the lead form, if you run a lot of lead form ads, or if you're doing a lot of events, definitely recommend using those. However, get your customer list in there, get the data working for you. And again, this is how you create custom audiences on Meta. Make sure you drop a like or subscribe below, and I will be doing more videos to going over saved audiences as well as lookalike audiences and what's the best time to use them. And hopefully this video helped. Let me know, and I will answer your questions in the comments.